Hello. Welcome to this brand new episode. We started this podcast series, and I can't believe that we've come this far. And with me, the very magical Yogeshwari. Always a pleasure. Yogeshwari, how's it going? And what are we going to talk about today?
Uh, Today I'm not that energetic, and that's why I got all decorated. At least I look a little in high energy. Today I want us to talk about why are we here. It's all about, first I would like to start with me. Why am I so procrastinating? Why is it that I want to do, but when it is actually doing, I'm not able to take that first step? And let's just say I've taken that first step, doing once, twice, but I'm not able to continue. Why is it happening with me?
It's not just you. I think when we look at a big chunk, I'm not able to remember the exact paper, but there was a Times article, there was a Forbes article also on this, published in Mind Valley, where almost 60 to 70, 75% of the global workforce is not interested only to come for work. And there was another very interesting paper that came out where uh, like a anonymous research got conducted, and close to 93% of the working professional, they didn't even want to come for work. They just come for work because it pays for their salaries. Now that's the statistics that is now. Even before we get into the actual root cause of the problem, I would want to ask you, if you look at your life from the moment you were born, you went to school, you went to college, you went for work, you are right now even doing so much of work every single day, day in and day out, and then there's family, there's all these different places across society. Was there any point of time when you wanted to do any of these things, or were you always told to and to do all of that?
I believe I was always told to do what I'm supposed to do. And if I go back to my childhood, I don't remember. Most of the time, I didn't ask them any questions like, why should I do this? I just did it because I was told to do. And there were times when there was a real resistance inside me, and I asked questions. I was reprimanded very in not so pleasant manner, that actually had a kind of a, I would say, a deep impact, a scar inside me. And then I got to know, okay, if you were told to do, you better do it. If you ask question, you're going to get thrown off. You don't want that. That's how probably it is. And I started seeing the world to be like that. That's my answer.
On the other hand, you you did not ask questions. Whenever you asked questions, you got reprimanded. Now you look at the school life, the college life, the work life. The more questions you ask, the more you're not so considered as a part of the herd. You're considered as you're moving away. And amidst all of this, let's come to the point when you literally don't do anything at all. So when you don't do anything at all, you must still be doing something, right? The breathing is going on, or something or the other you are doing to make the most of time or to use that time. What are the things that you see yourself and observe yourself doing?
I'm a big fan of just sitting idle. I love to be in my world, in my space, where if I don't do anything, which means I don't talk to people, even to my closest ones, I don't share what am I going through, majorly because I don't even realize and recognize that I'm going through that until it has crossed to a certain extent. Let's just say I'm going through burnout, but I wouldn't even realize that I'm going through burnout until 90% of that phase is over. And someone shakes me up and asks me, what's wrong with you? Why are you like this these days? That's when I realize, oh, am I different? And when I look back, oh, probably I didn't speak to these people. Probably I was confining myself for a long time. Probably I'm sitting with myself, with my own thoughts, with my own world, just observing whatever is going on inside my head, whatever is happening outside me, pondering on why did that happen? Why did that person behave like that? And when I come out of it, I completely forget that incident. And it's right now I understand that it's very dangerous.
I mean, what started out as a very superficial question went a lot deep, right? The emotions that comes with it. The You mentioned being idle, not doing anything at all. And we'll come to this part again. I'll keep that parked. But I still want to touch upon the superficial part of it. Let's just say when you're not doing anything at all, you're sitting idle. Sitting idle in today's world, it's if you're doing so, you are literally in vipassana because that's what happens. So my question is a little bit on that context itself, digging a little deeper. What are you doing when you are idle? You're not sitting idle. We know you're doing something because at the end of the day, days go out, weeks go out, like you mentioned, and suddenly you realize, oh, how did the time even pass? Or someone shaking you up and listening. So what do you do when you are idle?
The first thing is I take my time, I just sit and I observe my thoughts. When I get bored of that, and all of these things happens completely unconscious. When I get bored of that, obviously these days we have our phone and we have a lot of things to scroll, mindlessly scrolling, just endless scrolling. Hours pass by. I stop when I get the headache, when my body gives me signals that you have strained your eyes enough, you have observed a random thing that doesn't make any sense, where the brain cannot keep those information. You have done that enough. Now stop it. Otherwise, I'm going to torture you with your headache. And that's when I put it away. Probably I eat something and then I sleep off. So this is what my ideal routine pattern is. Yeah, that's what I do.
So important that you're saying this. So you remember when we started this conversation, right? The workforce. Now, firstly, big thank you and congratulations. The fact that you are aware that all of these things are happening. There's this humongous percentage of audience who are probably not even aware. So if I just have to detangle it further, and then we'll get into the emotions part, there is an emotion that is bothering you. You don't want to go through it. And that's why you just want to sit idle. But when you're sitting idle, you're having a lot of thoughts, and thoughts will automatically go on inside, and unconsciously, it's leading to more inner conversations, inner conflicts. Your actions are not working towards solving it, rather moving you away from it. And the best way to do so is by distraction. On the other hand, you have all these mobiles and smartphones, and we all know what Meta and all these different other companies, Google and all that, are doing. They've hired the best engineers and the best marketers to get you hooked to their app, just to their app. And then you're so hooked that you start getting a headache, your body takes over, and then suddenly you see it's all gone. Now, keeping that as the foundation, I want to go a little level deeper here. You mentioned and touched upon the importance of emotions. Now, how is procrastination related to emotions? And what are these two contrasting emotions? Why are you not able to do what you know you're meant to do? And what is happening when, even if you want to do it, you're not doing it? I hope my questions are clear. Yeah.
Yeah. Even before I answer the question, in my last sentence, I just mispronounced a word. I wanted to clarify that for the audience. I just by mistake said ideal routine. It's not an ideal routine, it's an idle routine. Whenever I was idle, I used to do that. And I don't want my ideal routine to be like that. No, never. Okay, coming back to this question. So I'm glad that this question came up because I've been recently thinking over this. Why is it happening? What is the contrasting emotions that is literally pulling me apart from what I'm supposed to do or what I want to do from what I'm actually doing? Is when I'm doing something, I just like to do it. And when there is a contrasting emotion, thoughts, feelings, words from other person, I completely go through something like, fine, you're telling me that I can't do it, I'll drop. I won't do it. The worst part is people who are telling me that they are my people who love me so much. They are telling that because they want me to be better in life. They care for me. But unfortunately, my response to their love, probably that's their love language. They keep telling me, Yogeshwari, you're doing this, this is not right, that's not right, you have to do this. I'm like, who are you to tell me that? I like doing what I like doing and the way I like doing it. Why do you have to meddle with me like this? Just let me be. I know you love me, but you can't hold me by my throat and you can't be a puppeteer for me and keep me as your puppet. Now, this probably, I don't know whether this is a not so empowering emotions, thoughts, feelings. I don't know, but I've been going through this all this while. And just because of this, I'm like, fine, I'm not going to do it. I'll show you how worst it can be. So I'll just do the negative thing, the opposite thing of what they want. So it's like probably I'm punishing myself, punishing them. At the end, obviously, I know that my life is the one that is just getting drained. Yeah, that's how it is. I'm sharing too much of my personal stuff. I've never done that. That's okay. Yeah, take it over.
Now, as long as you're not specifying any names or anything as such, it's all okay, I feel. And it's firstly, I have to thank you for your bravery and courage. It's not just about having the clarity, because most people in this world, they already know what is going on. And the worst thing that happens is, even if they know, they will they'll keep it to themselves. And keeping it to themselves, obviously, we all know how far we walk when we do try to do things alone. This whole thing is bringing me down to two contrasting examples. At home, we have our parents, and we come from, both you and I come from very traditional backgrounds, where our parents have always had that responsibility, and their primary love language has been telling us exactly what we need to do. Again, based on their understanding, it's not their fault as well. They have been conditioned by the society, by their generations. So they keep telling us what we need to do or what's best for us according to them, so that they can portray us as the right role models for the society. So when there is a differences in perspectives or thought process or any of the decision making things, then obviously there's some, you can only bear it at certain point of time. They snap out first and then we snap out as well. And because we've been with them from childhood, it becomes difficult to talk to them about it. And that's what happens with me, at least. It's very difficult for me to sit down and talk to my parents. Forget about the relatives, I don't even talk to them. So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is in the workplace as well, all the way from schools and colleges and right now workplace as well. The only people you can speak to just by being you is probably your friends. But then it was there only in childhood, right? Right now, do you really see colleagues being friends? At least I didn't have that experience so far. Or maybe we are not even taught those skills. I never had a networking class. I never was given any class on how to make friends. So even in the office as well, the same thing is going on. There are conflicts, there are problems, there you are being told exactly what you need to do. If you're not doing it, you're answerable. And in this situation, they are at least paying you a salary, so whether you like it or not, you still have to bear with it. Now, keeping these two polarities, you're literally sandwiched in between, and you still want to work towards your dreams and whatever it is that you want. What we are so far discussing and what we are able to find out, Yogeshwari, is we are already in an ocean, in a whirlwind, in a tornado, in a tsunami. We are living in a tsunami day in and day out. The easiest way to get out of it is to stay distracted. That's the easiest thing. Like, how many steps do we need to take to go and click, and we know the algorithms and everything takes us over and all those things. Yeah, we continue that. I want to implore a little deeper here. And again, if I'm pushing too much, again, it's just that I'm giving my examples as well. You're giving your examples as well. At any point of time, you want to focus towards the solutions, feel free. My question is, if we really, at an intellectual level, understand that, and even right now at this discussion level, at a rational level, we are able to break these things down, why is it that even if we want to do something, we want to work it out, we want to make, I think we both have discussed a lot of times, like, we're going to crush it, we're going to do everything that is needed, we'll do our social media content, webinar, business, suns and everything, but we still are not able to break through. That consistency doesn't happen. Even if we are consistent, it doesn't give us any results. You've been very consistent the last 1.5 years, but so on one end, that's procrastination, on one end, consistency, habits, we know what we need to do, but we are still not able to do it. Why is it that, and how does that affect us? You are speaking
So
so
beautifully, and
beautifully,
I'm
and I'm
only
only
able
able
This,
to.
thank you. Thank you for that. This is a deep question. I hope it's okay if I take a couple of seconds to process. Yes, we have been telling to ourselves that I want to do this, I want to do that, let's make it happen. Probably we start, but we couldn't keep up the momentum. Even if we had tried with the consistency, the results were not up to the mark. We have gone through this entire tornado, as you mentioned. Here, I see it as three different perspectives. Number one, when we do certain things, as I've done it, social media, I've done it for a year, the results were okay, but not, it didn't explode as such. I haven't crossed the bridge, so I don't know the results yet. I don't know the answer yet. What I know is people keep telling you just have to do until you get through. Probably I didn't do it until I get through. I stopped before that. So I gave up even before I could get the result. Probably I kept digging, just one more round of effort. I could have got that breakthrough. I just stopped there. Now I have to do all over again. Maybe that's one way of thinking it. The second way of thinking is thinking that is, this is completely my perspective. Every single time we want to do things, especially entrepreneurship, you and I, we never went to B school, and we have no clue about the basics and the fundamentals, the theory part of the entrepreneurship. What we know is what we learned from our mentors. Now, there, what happens is there were too many things. When we focus on too many things, it is easy for us to get that burnout. We are doing so many things, but still nothing is happening. So the focus is somewhere we are missing out, focusing on too many things. So we were not able to do anything properly. That's one way I look at it. And the last way I look at it is, this doesn't have to be applicable to everyone. This is for me and for people like me. When I'm in the momentum, I'm in the momentum and I don't like to break it. When I break it, it's it's so difficult for me to come back. So I ideally don't want anyone to break that momentum for when I'm in that zone. Probably after going through so much right now, what I'm able to realize is people's emotion, especially, I'll tell you, including you, a lot of people told me that I'm very cold and I'm not that approachable. I don't talk to people that often. So it is easy for me to keep someone whom I don't love, don't have any emotional attachment. They're not my parents, they're not my friends, they're not my relatives, they're not my close circle. It is easy for me to draw the boundaries and keep their emotions away from me, protect myself. But when it comes to my close circle, their emotions are having a deeper impact in me, and that is actually having that volatile effect inside me. So, probably, I don't know, I have to completely cut myself from the outside world so that I'm not having the impact affected by any of the emotions that they are going through, so that I get into the shell, I get the work done, keep my focus strong, and when I'm out, I can shower the love that I have supposed to do for them. But at the same time, I was actually unconsciously doing that for the last couple of months. I was completely shutting myself off, not talking to anyone, keeping every possible interactions and emotions away from me, unconsciously doing it. I didn't plan, I didn't communicate it to anyone. So it had its repercussions also. People whom I love, probably they misunderstood me. They thought that I don't love them. On the contrary, I love them so much, and that's why I couldn't make that thing clear. So probably I have to learn how to communicate before, sit with a lot of empathy, clearly communicate, so that make them understand that I'm doing it for them, get into my cocoon, get the task done, come back, be lively. Probably that would work for me. Again, I have to try that. I don't know. I'm I'm really sorry. I'm giving you a lot of don't knows in this episode. I know you're going through tough times, but thank you for bearing with me.
I What you're giving me is patterns. And if I look at, I mean, the whole objective of doing these episodes is when we don't have to pretend to be anything we are not. Even if any fillers come out, let it be so. If we are over explaining something, let it be so. Because you and I, we are going to watch these episodes in retrospection and then detangle and deconstruct everything. So it's really good that you're just being who you are at this moment, at this point of time right now. And that itself is what is going to help us create patterns, identify patterns. First, identify patterns and then create patterns. Now, you if you break down the three perspectives that you mentioned, in all the three perspectives, there are certain things that we are doing, there are certain things that we are not doing. Either way, there is a thoughts, words, actions, decisions, and choices that are involved. At some scenarios, we take control of the decisions. At some scenarios, we let go of that control. Either way, we still took a decision and we still had a choice. Now, for you, you are able to zone out. For me, it gets even more difficult. Because if I just compare my closed people, I love them so much that I keep going back to them, knowing that I'm going to come back feeling hurt, feeling taunted, feeling insulted, feeling not support at all, just a showpiece kind of a stuff. And that itself, from what I know deep down, is a fundamental reason for my procrastination, and that it's also in a form of a complaint. I know that if I take control right now, I can fix everything, but I don't know how to, and I don't even want to work on that. So the easiest thing to do is to procrastinate and complain. And this is not your and my problem, this is the problem of all of those people whom we spoke about right at the start of this session. But then that brings me down to the roots. Then I guess we are slowly going towards it. We discussed about what happens in procrastination, we discuss about why it happens, we discuss about what do we do it. And now I want to peel off the last layer before we start discussing the solutions, which is, how does it really make us feel? And I want you to really break things down. By the way, I'm asking you these questions for all of you watching. The reason I ask these deep questions to Yogeshwari and not the other way around is because I know that the way she explains things, I understand. And she explains things in a very crystal manner. So you all will understand. And because I understand her, I can deconstruct it even more in a simpler manner. So that way you get to understand some more. And then she does that same thing to me as well. You saw that in the previous episode, right? The cricket episode and all. So coming back, how does it make us feel at the point when we procrastinate? How does it make us feel when we realize, oh, why did we procrastinate? How does it make us feel when we want to do something about it? So I just want you to take us through that. How does it make us feel phase?
At the point when I procrastinate, I feel so happy that ah, finally I escaped this. Now I have some sort of distraction and I'm going to indulge in that. A complete different world. It can be anything scrolling, it can be anything like playing games, video games, anything that you love, anything other than the major elephant in the room, the problem. At how do I feel when I'm going through it? I don't think about the problem at all. I get into, as I said, another world. All I think about is completely different thing, escaping from the thing. And when I come to the realization, how do I feel when I want to work on that procrastination? Depressed. That's my answer. Completely depressed. Previously, I didn't know why I was feeling like that until I went through a video. Unfortunately, I didn't remember the name of the author, where, yeah, I don't want to give a name until I'm very clear about it, but I'll come back. Where he said that if you are doing what you're not supposed to do, that is what is more depressing than doing what you love the most. Even if you overwork yourself with the task that you love the most, you will not get depressed. You will just wear yourself out, physical tiredness. You will go back to bed with complete happiness, peaceful sleep, next morning jumping out of the bed. But if you don't do what you like doing, if you escape from that, if you procrastinate, that's when you're going to get depressed. So when I heard that, I realized, oh, this is the reason of my stress. This is the reason of my depression, and that's how I feel it. I just wanted to end this with one question to all of you who are watching. We are here sharing everything unfiltered, complete vulnerability. Are we the ones? Are we the ones who are going through this, or are you also facing this? Tell us in the comments, because we are sharing this not just to have a pity party here or a kitty party. I don't know what is that. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, I think it's a pity party. All right. We are not sharing this for that. Rather, we are sharing this because we want to break through. We are sharing this because we want to find that solution together. And Surya is here to help us. He's actually coaching us beautifully. I'm going to hand it over to him for his response.
No coaching here as such. It's just a discussion. It's a podcast. Coaching is a completely different thing altogether. Probably we'll do role plays at certain point of times in future. But it's a very interesting thing. The set of stuff that you shared was actual gold dust, Yogeshwari. Because on one end, we are procrastinating. We have problems in our life. We don't want to work towards those problems. The easiest way is to get ourselves distracted. And the way we feel, on one end, complete happiness, on the other end, complete depression. Now, the emotions, the names of those emotions can be different, but again, it's pretty much the same thing. The essence is the same, remains the same for everybody. Now, it gets even more complicated when we have work, we have family responsibilities. And guess what? The distraction, the parallels keep broadening more and more. For guys, it turns into smoking, drinking, boozing, weekend partying, holidaying, whatnot, traveling out with friends and whatnot. Every single thing that they will do, which is society wise acceptable, but we know at an intrinsic spiritual level, or at a conscious level as well, it's not. For women, on the other hand, you have makeup, you have beautification, you have filters, you have food. Yeah, so many different things. Now, when I want to break that entire thing down right now, we want to talk about the solutions. Again, I am not sure what's the solution on this. Maybe at some future episode, we'll talk about the how to really break free from procrastination once and for all. But I'll just give you my sign, what worked for me so far. That was back in my internship days, when I didn't know how to speak in English properly, didn't know how to speak Hindi properly. And I knew that there was a point of time, if change happens in a moment, it doesn't take years, months, and all. It happens in a moment. Probably it leads all those episodes that leads you to that one moment of change. So that one moment for me was, this is it. I'm going to change. And that was the day I started waking up early. I left eating junk food. I started working on myself, reading books, meditations, all the personal development stuff, watching good videos, deleting all the notifications and unsubscribing to all of those things. I did that. And that I did for a pretty decent amount of time, 6 to 8 months. And while I did that, I felt phenomenal. During doing it, I felt the pain. But as I was doing it more, I started seeing the results, all the appreciation, earning money and whatnot. I started feeling good. As I started feeling good, slowly, the ego went up and the habits reduced. I started eating, chalo, this many months I worked hard, one day I'll indulge. And that put me back in another negative cycle. And this time, negative cycle plus ego. Oh, I did that. I know everything. I've done it already. I can do it whenever I want. And the I took over. The ego of the I took over. It's only been right now at the point of recording this video. It's just been, this is my fifth day of waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning. And every single day I've been facing that same decision. Should I wake up or should I hit the snooze button? So I brought the entire thing down into the two small decisions. Should I wake up or should I hit the snooze button? And what flows is a series of thoughts. Now, the snooze button gives me relaxation and all that thing. But what I've done is I've trained, I keep telling myself, okay, well, yeah, it is giving me these things. But what am I losing out on if on the other hand, if I do this, yes, it'll give me these many pains. I have to do these many things. But on the other hand, what am I going to gain if I do it? And that, I feel, is a pattern that repeats for me the second time. First when I was an intern, second right now. I'm not sure how long is this going to last. Anyways, we'll be recording more episodes. You'll get to know. I want your thoughts on this, Yogeshwari, because I know you also have. In fact, this is something I've learned from you only. Maybe back in internship days, I didn't know you, but I have seen you do these exact set of things when we were recording our first course or launching our first webinar and everything. So I want your thoughts on this, and then you can close the episode.
Uh, Thoughts on exactly what? Could you please repeat the question?
Thoughts on taking the choice and the decision in our control. Thoughts on what we can do at that moment. Should we take charge and build consistency just today and tomorrow? Or do we take charge of letting the situations take control and let it go away today and tomorrow? Your thoughts?
Again, I haven't done that, so I'm in no place to share. However, I've learned this from Laila Hormozi. I'm yet to put it into practice. Probably in the future episodes, I'll talk about it. What she says is, decision fatigue is something you cannot fight with. Do not fight with your brain. How to rewire your brain and work through the natural way is create triggers. 4 o'clock is your alarm. As soon as alarm rings, create a trigger. I remember she says, put your alarm in your bathroom so that you have to walk and then snooze. Immediately, dip your face in the water. triggers. Create triggers that will make things happen automatically for you. You don't have to decide at all. That's my thoughts. And I think I'm going to put it into practice. I'll come back and I'll share with you all how it works. Am I still struggling or is it working wonders for me? Over to you. Any last few words, Surya?
I think it was a very, very deep discussion so far. And every episode that you will observe, you will see us going into a deeper topic. And in case if you want to know more about what's going on, again, you can always connect with us. And all the links and everything is given below. So thank you so much for staying here. If you've been here right till the end, just type right till the end in the comment. We feel really good to connect with people who are with us in this journey, because we are not coaches or trainers as such. I mean, we are not in that pedestal. We are just people like you. We face the same problems. It's just that we made this decision to show up and share for us, not for anyone else also. Today, even if we get zero views, doesn't really matter. We want to hold ourselves accountable to show up, because only when we document things, only then gets scheduled, and what gets scheduled gets done. That's the reason why we are doing this. So big thank you, Yogeshwari, once again. You have no idea how special you are. You're my heart. You're my everything. And the best part is when we discuss about these things, it feels amazing. So thank you so much. And thank you, every single one of you. Will see you in the next episode.